Bonjour et bienvenue à la classe de français. Je suis Madame Jenny Goss. Hello and welcome to AP French. I know many of your students I have had in the past, so I'm just so glad to have them again. Some info about me. I received my bachelor's degree from Augustana College in secondary ed and French. I have a minor in English. I, during college, studied in a town in France called Dijon, where the mustard comes from. And I received my master's degree from American College of Education in instructional technology. So that's very much come in useful these last several years. And then I have traveled to France with and without students about 8 times now. Couldn't resist a little picture of my 2-year-old in the corner there. And then just to share some exciting news that I am expecting a baby girl in December, at the end of December. So I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that, but just very excited. So class expectations for AP French. I know that you can read. I won't read this whole slide to you. Feel free to pause if you like. This is straight out of the course catalog. Just a few things to highlight. The course revolves around the 6 AP themes, and it's really, AP is about them, the students being able to demonstrate knowledge of the target culture. And then just using the language in real life settings. So speaking and writing and many of the same skills they have been doing, but it really gets real in AP. We work on interpersonal, so like writing emails, interpretive, reading and listening, and then presentational. They will be giving presentations and things like that. And your students are already doing amazing things. Goals for the course, definitely we want students to be able to understand native French speakers, Canadian French, African. We'll hear a whole bunch of different accents this year, which is exciting. We want them to increase their proficiency. Your students are already able to do amazing things, and we just want to build and improve upon that. And then, of course, increasing knowledge of the Francophone French-speaking world. Cultural comparison is a huge part of AP, and your students will each be adopting a Francophone country to become an expert on this year. So that's very exciting. Here are our 6 AP themes. Each theme represents a unit, and then we do reading, listening, and speaking centered around the themes. We study vocabulary that are specific to those contexts. In the course of a year, we do not have time to study all of these things, but usually we choose about 2 sub-themes, contexts from each larger theme. And then many of these things they've also touched on in lower levels of French. But grammar is really not the main focus. The focus is on culture and expression and interpretation. Just a little bit about the exam. Obviously, you can see this is everything about the exam, but it starts with multiple choice section, and then free response is made up of 2 writing tasks. So they do read and respond to an email. Sorry, that's the second thing. And they do an argumentative essay. So they read a few sources and they respond to basically like a yes or a no question and try to convince their audience, that they have the right answer. And then 2 spoken tasks, so an interpersonal with pre-recorded computer person voice, kind of strange. And then presentational speaking, where they compare something from a Francophone country to their own personal experiences. We don't know what the topic will be, so we just try to cover as many topics as we can. In terms of class resources, everything, and I mean everything, is posted to Google Classroom. So if there's ever a question of, did we have homework? When do I have a test coming up? Where are my notes? I can promise the answer will be found on Google Classroom. In terms of grades for AP, this is probably pretty similar to what they've experienced in their other French classes. Homework is a 5% of their grade. I don't give a ton of homework, I think, especially in comparison to some of their other AP classes. but we do want to keep them listening and interpreting and reflecting as much in the target language as we can. So there will be some homework. Participation is 10% of their grade, but really a huge part of our class. It's a very communicative class. Formative, so any work that we do during class, and then official quizzes count towards that 20% of their grade. And those usually are a pretty good predictor of the summatives. In AP French, the summatives are all modeled after AP tasks from the AP test. So we just want to get them practicing. It's by no means completely 100% a test preparation class, but of course we want to make sure that they are prepared to take and succeed on the AP French test. Many of your students have been taking French for many, many years. Next year, some of them may be going to college. I wish them great luck. Some of them might be hopefully taking French 5 if they'll be at East next year. But I recognize that some of your students have already taken French 5, so we might need to be a little creative with our options. But yes, lots of options. And of course, just as I would say to my students, I love questions. If you have any questions or concerns, I'm happy to answer them either by email or by phone. And I just encourage you to reach out. I would be happy to contact you about anything that you might need. So thank you for listening. Merci et au revoir.